Hey guys, Eric with Bricksville, and yeehaw, apparently. So, I'm actually wearing my cowboy hat, which I don't wear that much, but I am from Oklahoma, so when I moved down here from New York, I figured I had to have a cowboy hat. But we're actually going to be looking at my white whale set today. If you're new to Lego, or really collecting in general, your white whale is the thing that you desperately want that you either can't afford or can't find. But this was my favorite set as a kid. It's set number 6769, Fort Legoredo, and it was available from October 1996 to December 1998. It was originally $85, which adjusted for inflation is $153 today. So not a lot, but also not cheap either. So this was kind of my crown jewel of my collection. And now to get it, it's still new in box, about $900, and used is about $300. So I don't know what my wife paid for this because she got it for my Christmas present, but probably around there. And then this is actually my great grandfather's hat. I just wanted to throw this in here. He was a real cattle rancher, but from New York, and this was his hat. So we're going to take a look at the set and see how it is. All right, so we're going to start off with the minifigs. So from left to right, we have the two cavalry lieutenants. We're riding the horses there. The only difference between the two of them is one has a bandana, one doesn't. And then next to them on the ground, you've got the cavalry colonel. So he's kind of the head honcho of the fort. Then on the other side of the barrel, you have the cowboy. I think he's supposed to be like the bandits that we're going to talk about next. They're bothering him. He comes to the fort. Then the cavalry comes and to the rescue. But then you've got I actually got these in a little bit of different order, but you got Bandit 2, Bandit 1, and then Bandit 3. So Bandit 3 has kind of like the card-playing jacket on. He's even got the different suits of the cards on his inner vest. And then Bandit 2, he's got this mustache, and he just kind of looked like, yeah, you want to try me? And then that was Bandit 1. Bandit 2 has a red shirt, kind of open. You can see kind of some of the chest hair, and then he comes with a bandana and a brown cowboy hat, and he's missing some teeth, so they don't take care of their teeth out there. Then the last three are pretty much all the same, but they're just the cavalry soldiers. The only difference is some of them have bandanas, some of them do not, but same faces, bodies, everything else is exactly the same. But yeah, 10 minifigs was a pretty wide selection for this line, or really many lines back then. So this for me was a great starter set. And I actually have kind of a Mandela effect. I remember that this set came with some Native American characters, which there were in the Western line, but this set was put out 2 times. It never had Native American characters in there. So either I drew them over from some other set and just decided they were part of it, or I'm just completely misremembering that. But it was always with the cavalry versus bandits. So, yeah. And now to cover the animals and accessories in the set. So we have 3 horses with the old brown, the black, and the white. And you can see how the clips can actually hold the banners on the horses. You can also hold guns, and you can hold swords and kind of anything like that. Then you have the one horse hooked up to the cart, which it has cannonballs on there, and then this cannon can actually just come off and then go back on. But they actually did at this time have shooting cannons, but this set did not include it. But I actually like the cross cannon one. While it doesn't have the shooting feature, which would have been nice as a play function, to be honest, it looks nicer, and it kind of screams cavalry to me. So I'm glad with the choice they made with that. For accessories, you have a whip, a sword, kind of nothing too special there. But the dynamite, I thought it was worth mentioning. So we had to deal with printed tiles. They actually didn't come out with the dynamite that they have now until 2009. So all the way up until 2002, we had these printed tiles, and then actually for 7 years there was no dynamite made for Lego. Kind of a weird trivia thing. But then we had the long rifle, the little revolver, and then the chrome gold bugle, which these you have to kind of watch because the chrome can kind of wear off over time. But the one that's in my set is actually pretty decent, so I'm happy with that. But
I wish they still did more chrome. I know that it doesn't last as long, but just the effect of it is just, it's beautiful. All right, so here we are at the fort, at the main gate. So there's 2 big barrels in here, which they gave you an amazing amount of guns in this set. But I just threw them in there. But you can also have the bandits hiding in here, or attack the people when they open the gate. And then 2 bushes that they can hide behind. But then you've got 2 towers where they can shoot out of. And then the emblem of the 2 crossed swords for the cavalry is flying high over the top. Then there's 2 cattle horns on the, one in each roof, and then 2 parrots here. Now the gate here, you can't open it because, I'll show you in a second. We're gonna turn this around. I've unhooked everything. They actually have a bar here. So the way it's built, you pull this up and out, and then the gates open in. They're stopped from going out because of the way that it's built. This is kind of the extent of the turn. So that keeps it out there, and it can't move anywhere once that bar is across. So I like that as that feature as a kid, and I ended up using it in a lot of my other like castle builds or anything that I was just kind of doing on my own. But then you got 2 step ladders, or 2 ladders to get up to the top shooting wall spots, and then you just have to use your imagination to get up to the top here. They don't include any ladders or anything like that, but I didn't have a problem with that as a kid. So this side is probably the most boring out of all of them, but it has its function. It closes off the right side. It has 2 bushes here and then 3 balastraras. I had to look up what those are, but basically the shooting holes where the cavalry can go in there and then just shoot out at the bandits without probably getting hit themselves. But on the inside, very simple, very, structural, just kind of closing off the fort, but you got a ladder going up to the top where they can fire from the top, and then also have guys firing from the bottom. So nice structural, nothing special, but useful. So now we're switching over to the other side, and this one's definitely a lot more interesting. So we've got the same kind of gate setup as the front with the parrots on the sides, and the same gate mechanism that won't let it open. But then on this side, you do have this bush that there's a stick of dynamite that you can blow off. And then inside here, you've got gold coins. So I'm not really sure the play function of why there's gold coins in there, if they're hiding them next to the fort, but they are there. And then on the back here, you've got a ladder that moves up, and then different shooting points, different places. Kind of use your imagination to get to the top here, or some ninja skills. And then a walk through here to the other side. So then this is the exact same mechanism as the other side. Helps the doors open up, nothing too different here, but definitely rounds it out. And I like this side better than the last one that we just looked at, a lot better, just because it has a lot more detail to it. All right, so then we have the headquarters side, and this one definitely has the most going on of anything. So this is the side that would face the inner courtyard in the traditional setup, but you got a stairway going up to here into the office, which I'll show in a little bit. You've got the same gate mechanism here, but with smaller doors to go through a pass-through to the outside, and also to overlook in the jail section, but you can see that more when we flip it around. And then the jail door itself here, which kind of opens and closes, nice little latch there. You have a walkway here, which kind of continues from the one next to it once it's connected, and it's gun storage up here. Then, when you flip it around to see all the features in here, you can see the jail cell underneath, which is closed on all sides on the outside. Doesn't go all the way to the top, but it also makes it easier if you're going to try to do a breakout to bend these over and break out the bad guy. So that's definitely, I think, the right way to design it. And then the pass-through here. Now, the pass-through here where you're seeing all the bad guys, or seeing the jail cell, is probably not the best design choice, but it makes it playable. So, like, if it was a real building, not a good choice. But then you have in here the card playing station, which this is probably, as a kid, this 100% was my favorite feature in the entire thing. So you have the table here where you have they're playing cards, and this one can be where where he should be. The colonel sits, or any of the lieutenants or anything. And then over here is where the bandit. And if they're playing against each other, and let's say the game isn't going their way or the negotiations aren't, you turn the table this way, and this one drops down, the bandit goes down to the jail cell. But let's say he draws a gun, or at least at the story that I did. Let's say he draws a gun on the lieutenant and he needs to make a quick escape. You pull it the other way, and all of a sudden this drops down and he can make a quick escape. So that was always kind of cool. But a little hidden secret, behind this, the fireplace actually comes out, and there's a stash of gold in here. So I don't know who stashed it here. I'm gonna say that this is the payroll for the month, and the colonel stashed it behind the fireplace. But either way, it's pretty cool. And then the last thing is right over on this side. So this one here, now inside it's kind of a gun storage, and they laid it out to where it fits in there perfectly. But you can, now this faces the outside wall, so I would think that it's just kind of, I don't think it's really meant to be open per se in real world type situations, but you can kind of either blow the wall, or they drill through, they cut through the wood wall or whatever, and they can steal the armory. So yeah, overall, this section of the building, I mean, definitely has, like I said, the most going on out of any section, and kind of where any kind of play features that are here are in this area. For the manual, I wanted to include this because there's a couple different things, but one, just the front art is cool, but more importantly, there was less instructions back then. Some of the steps didn't tell you what pieces you were going to use. Every once in a while, where they felt like you were going to get confused, they would put in how many you're going to use. And then I thought it was cool that they did this top-down approach to a lot of these base plate ones, because at an angle it can be difficult to see, oh, well, is this 4 or this 5 behind there? So this top down made it extremely clear. And then they kind of did that all the way through, but you can see how much we massively add between these steps compared to current models. Current models, everything is highlighted, there's a lot less pieces in each step. So I used to think that I just got better at Lego, but I also think I did, but at the same time, it's also gotten easier over time. So I don't know what that says about me and my generation, or the next one, but I'm not going to get into the politics of that. But it is worth noting that if you go back and build your old sets, you'll see that they really were more challenging at that point. So then you've got the different sides coming together. And I'm kind of flipping through this since it's kind of a short manual, but you've got this all going through. So this whole side of the base you built in 14 steps, I think. Yeah, 14 steps. So I feel like that would be a lot more today. Now you've got this here. This is the little mechanism underneath that we looked at, and how it's structured. So it's got the 2 tiles. If it's positioned in the center, those 2 keep both seats up, but if you shift to either side, the other one drops down. And then that shows you everything here. And getting to the end, but they also did not include a parts list back then. It was just basically, you got what you got. But it does show how to connect them all into the original format. And then on the back, it gives some suggestions on how to do alternate builds. So in this one, you've got it almost like a wall here, just one continuous like L-shaped wall with an open area here, or you can do where it's open on one side. So kind of gives you some different ideas to inspiration. And that's like my fort, it didn't stay together very long. It changed almost immediately as I added things, changed things. Apparently added Native Americans to it that were not part of the set. But this was just the starting point for my imagination. So the back really emphasizes that. It's like, here, I'm going to lead you through the instructions, and then here's how you can change it.
As I was doing this review, I got to think about why this set means so much to me, and why I think Lego means so much to a lot of people out there. I mean, it's a great toy, high quality, just kind of all those things. But for me, this set in particular, this was my childhood. This was those nights where I was staying up late where I shouldn't have been. This was me building with my friends. This was me building those relationships that still last to this day. I'm blessed enough to say. And this was all a part of it. And while I look at this and I play with this, I go back to those moments. And that's a really magical thing. This set, I'm not even going to talk about whether it's worth it or not because, you know, structurally it's a nice set. I mean, it's beautifully put together with the play features and the figs and kind of everything that is. But for me, it's worth so much more. And I know everybody has their sets like that's into Lego that was into it as a kid. And honestly, the people that aren't, you're probably building those memories right now that you're going to cherish someday. So to me, that's what Lego is. So I'm getting a little emotional here, but I really appreciated looking through this again, and even just kind of enjoying these moments. So I really want to thank everybody on here for allowing me to do this too. I probably would have begged Arthur and my wife to get me this set either way. I dropped a lot of hints, but even just looking at it through fresh eyes to have to show it to people allowed me to really look at why I love it so much. So that's our episode for today. I really appreciate everybody for watching. And then if you please don't forget to like and subscribe and share our channel in this video. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.